Hello everybody, this is Conquering History Games, and Happy New Year to everybody watching this. Hope you're enjoying it. I know for some of you it's probably already January 2nd by the time that you're watching this, but Happy New Year anyway. So I just wanted to go over what some of my plans are for 2019. The first thing that I want to say is by no means expect everything that I cover on this list to happen. It's way too much. This is basically just the stuff that I've been brainstorming. Okay, what do I want to do in 2019 for the channel? And it's way too much. So it's an idea of I'm going to try a little bit of each of these. I'm going to explore them, and we're going to see what happens over the course of the new year. But the main theme here is diversification. Having said that, let's start talking about things that, before I talk about the new stuff I want to add to the channel, let's talk about stuff that we know is coming up. Okay, first off, Man the Guns. This is the upcoming DLC for Hearts of Iron 4. It's going to have the naval rework, and it's going to have a rework for the United States, the United Kingdom. It's going to introduce a focus tree for the Dutch, and it's also going to introduce a Mexican focus tree in vanilla Hearts of Iron 4. So I'm probably going to get a free copy of this. Paradox usually gives me and that is really nice. However, I'm increasingly, not increasingly, I'm less and less going to be playing vanilla Hearts of Iron 4, even though I'm a little bit of an achievement hunter. It's just, so I've just reached this point where I don't care much about new focus trees unless they're ones that are horribly broken and that really needed a rework. So like the United States, I don't want to say the old United States one was broken, but it was very, very boring if you stayed democratic, and I know they're trying to work on that. And it's just, like, the only thing I was really excited about, I was excited about the naval rework. I was excited about the Congress mechanics. I was thinking, wow, that's something that modders are really going to be able to have fun with. And that's basically the point of view I've reached. That's where I am with Hearts of Iron 4. Whenever there's something new coming out, I don't care about focus trees. I care about mechanics and just how that can be applied to my favorite mods. So, Man the Guns, I'm going to play it, but if I'm being perfectly honest, I probably will just do one campaign. Maybe go for one of the new achievements that comes out or something. But that will be it. I'm not going to get too much into it, really. All right, next, Führerreich, I think 2.0. We're waiting on that to come out. I haven't played Führerreich in a long time, but I am very interested in it, and I think 2.0 is going to be great. I don't have the list of everything that they are going to include, but I think Japan is going to get included. And that was really the only section of the world that was sort of barren in the initial release of Führerreich, so look forward to that. Then, of course, there's Kaiserreich 0.9, the China rework and introduction, just complete revamping, including the lore, including a ton of stuff. I'm super duper looking forward to this one because for me, I know that Kaiserreich's never going to finish. There's always much more to be done. But once that section of the world, just dealing with the warlords, dealing with what's going on with the Fengtian government, and the interactions with Indochina and Japan and Russia and all that stuff gets worked, a Kaiserreich is going to be so amazing, and it's like going to be quote-unquote finished as far as I'm concerned. I'm extremely looking forward to this. I think Flame Fang, the guy who's, I believe he is still the one who's running the China rework, his stuff has been great. The Fengtian government is one of my favorite focus trees in Kaiserreich. If not, yeah, it's like definitely, I'd probably say it's definitely top 5, and it's not even finished yet. So once all the pieces have been put into place, it's going to be incredible, and I can't wait. So there will be Kaiserreich coming in. So let's talk about Imperator Rome. That's going to be the next Paradox Grand Strategy game that's coming out. And I get often asked if I'm going to be playing it. The best thing I can say right now, judging from what I've seen of dev diaries, the very short amount of gameplay footage that I've seen, I think I'm probably going to take a pass on this one unless they offer me a review copy. But it's just one of those things where it's not that I doubt it's going to be good, but how do I say this? I don't want to sound mean. It's like, I don't see any purpose in spending money on this game when there's plenty of other historical games that I could be playing instead. And yeah, people can talk about the views. There's always going to be people who get more views than me on these sorts of things. Not with Crusader Kings 2, though. Apparently I set records there. But like, there's going to be plenty of people. They're going to watch Quill 18, and that's fine. I like Quill 18. They're going to watch a lot of other people who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They're the ones who are going to be on the radar. and they're the ones who are going to get most of the views, so I don't think just having it on the channel is going to help me too much. I think that people who come to the channel, they do so because they're looking for a certain type of personality. They're looking for what I bring to the table that's unique and different, which is usually the historical context, although maybe I'm a little entertaining too. So I just don't see the purpose in getting Imperator Rome by paying for it. If they want to give me an like an early access free coffee, sure, I'll play it, but do not look forward to that. Otherwise, there's plenty of other Rome games that I want to play. Okay, also CK2, History's in My Blood. I want to do a lot of CK2 in the upcoming year, especially diversify what I've been playing as, because like if you look at my campaigns, I've done a Danish achievement run campaign. I've done the French House Capet Restoration. I did the Teutonic Order, the Spanish Reconquista, the Irish campaign. And those are all feudal Catholic monarchs. Well, not so much the Teutonic Order, but it's like it's very one-dimensional. So expect to see some Muslims. I would like to take a trip over to India and just other things like that in CK2. But I'm gonna make it a long-term goal of mine, and I want to see if I can do it this year. Is pick up the History is in My Blood achievement. But because of the way that achievement works, I only want to be going for it if I'm also doing another achievement at the same time. So it's just like, okay, if I could pick that up at the same time, that'd be nice, but I don't want to focus in too much on it because there's a little bit of, you know, chance. There's more than a little bit of chance that's involved with that, like historical bloodlines getting killed off. Also, if I had to say there was a #1 priority for the channel this year, it would be this: Return of Total War. I initially made this channel for the purpose of playing Total War. And whether it's in the form of mods or me just doing historical battles or playing against, I don't know, doing like one-on-one multiplayer, sieges, something. Total War is going to come back in some sort of context. If it's the last thing I do on this channel, I'm going to make that happen. So really, really look forward to that. It's probably not going to be Three Kingdoms. All right, now let's get into the meat of things here. 2019 historical settings plans. This is mostly a brainstorm, as I've shown there. There's no way I can fit all of these different historical contexts in the game, but these are just different time periods that I've wanted to play that I know that I've got the games for, or there's mods for, or I've got availability to them in some sort of way. I'd love to do some ancient Rome, especially with Imperator coming out. I'd like to show some alternative things in case people end up not liking that. Probably some more historically accurate things. These are the three particular eras I was thinking about, is the Caesar versus Pompey Civil War, also the year of the four emperors, also the rise of Severus as the emperor following the death of Commodus. So that's kind of like in the middle of the Roman Empire's period. Not quite into the crisis of the 3rd century yet, but just about to hit it. And then maybe also do the Caesar's conquest of Gaul if I can get Praetorians up and running in a decent way. The American Civil War, I'd like to do some sort of campaign with that. Same thing with the Russian Civil War, which was an incredibly complex conflict, amazingly so. It's just so fascinating to me. Three Kingdoms, not Total War. Don't want to do that. I believe there's other ways to play the Three Kingdoms era of Japan here, you know, in between the Hans. But you know, not Total War. I don't think we're going to do that unless they give me a free copy, which I doubt they will. Okay, Feudal Japan. This is, again, you know, maybe Shogun 2, maybe some other games that I've looked at, but Feudal Japan could be interesting. Very much World War I I would like to do. Let's kind of bold that one. I really want to bring this to the channel. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I don't like the Great War mod. It's just so slow and boring, the one for Hearts of Iron 4. And then NSIEG, it's just buggy as all hell if you're playing anybody but Germany. And I'm not a enormous fan of that one either. So this is going to probably come to the channel in the form of some other video game, a non-Paradox game, but we'll see about that. Now, so this one I put a question mark on because I think there's a video game out there that I've got access to that follows the wars of Louis XIV, like the War of the Spanish Succession. This is a maybe, but it would be interesting. It would definitely be kind of niche. Oh, also as far as the World War I one, like even yeah, like, well, for all of these, really. This may not include necessarily a game, but maybe a mod for an existing game that lets me play in these time periods, stuff like that. Napoleonic Wars would also be an interesting one. I definitely want to do more medieval Iberia, specifically playing from the Muslim point of view, since the Reconquista campaign I did in CK2 obviously was from the Christian point of view, but I'd love to do some from the Muslim point of views. And it's probably going to be as the Umayyads, which is the earliest start date in CK2, but I've got an interesting kind of idea, something I think is a unique hook to play as the Umayyads, besides just, okay, I've taken Hispania, now what? And so it's something that could turn it into a much more long-term game than the Reconquista one. So it's one that could end up being centuries long, depending on how things go. India, I want to bring that, it's a whole subcontinent. I want to get in there at some sort of capacity. And ancient Egypt. So this one, I'm not getting too specific with what a lot of these games are because a lot of these things like American Civil War, ancient Rome, these are time periods that have multiple video games about them. And so I want to kind of test and see which ones do I like, which ones work for me. Am I good at this? Am I bad at that? Am I good at this game, but I don't like it? Like, for example, EU4. Like, I know how to play EU4. People are always asking me to play it, but I just don't like it. I know it's probably, is it? I'm trying to think. It's probably Hearts of Iron 4 now. That's the most popular Paradox game, but I think EU4 might, if you count DLC, has sold more. But it just never clicked with me. So there's not going to be any EU4 on the channel, so don't ask. But Ancient Egypt, this is going to be Pharaoh and Cleopatra. I probably would record several episodes in advance, and there's no way. Let me put it this way: Pharaoh and Cleopatra is such a long game. I'll say right now, it's not something I can finish in a year, like unless I completely focused my channel on that. And I don't think it would get enough views to warrant that. But it was a game, one of my favorite games as a kid, even though I was never that great at it. But now I'm older, and I figure I should be better at it, right? So, Pharaoh and Cleopatra is a city builder game. It covers just thousands of years of history of ancient Egypt, all the way up from the founding of the first dynasties, that whole archaic period, even before the Old Kingdom, to Cleopatra and Caesar and Anthony and all them. So this is definitely going to be coming to the channel, so this is another one I'm going to put in bold. But remember, all this stuff I'm spitballing, I'm brainstorming this. Do not expect all of these to happen this year. And really, a big purpose of this video is for myself to show, so that like towards the end of the year, or maybe even halfway through the year, I could look at this video and go, okay, how much of this have I actually done, and how much of it am I in a position to do? Because Hearts of Iron 4 is definitely got to start taking more of a back burner. I don't want to be known as a Hearts of Iron 4 channel. I can't stand that if I click on my own YouTube channel, like, here, let me do it over here. Let's see here. I'm trying to... Yeah, I cannot stand that when I go onto my own YouTube channel. What the heck? I lost subscribers. That's weird. I don't think that's ever happened. Oh, you know what? It's probably because that purge YouTube said they were going to do, so they must have been some bot accounts. Anyway, but like when I look at the related channels, like Sorrows Productions, I don't even watch him. Like, I've seen some of his stuff, but I don't watch him. The Daniel, I don't watch him. Mordred Viking, he's pretty cool. Feedback Gaming. You see, I really hate that Feedback Gaming is on here because he's gotten rather obsessed with me, I've been told on my Discord, so like that's kind of weird that he's there. But I can't block the related channels because from what I've researched, when you block related channels, then you don't show up on the, you know how on YouTube they have on the right side the recommendeds. So if you're blocking related channels, you get blocked from the recommendeds list. So actually what I should probably do is just put a lot more feature channels of people I like Mini a True Nerd, and just push these guys all down. But I can't stand that that except for Mordred Viking, these people are all Hearts of Iron 4 people, and I don't want to be associated with just being a Hearts of Iron 4 channel. I want diversification. So we're going to be seeing less of that moving forward. So anyway, moving on, let's talk about space and fantasy. Stellaris has been an absolute failure. Nobody can dispute it. I still have the free-for-all coming up, and that's going to be fun, and we'll see if people like that. But Stellaris is definitely, like, it has not been happening. So, maybe in the future I could try to do some other 4X games, Space 4X games, but for some reason I guess when you just get right down to it, Stellaris is not a very fun game to watch. So the only successful Stellaris Let's Plays I tend to see on YouTube, or people, except for Quill18 and Mini a True Nerd, are ones that, like, the channel's dedicated to Stellaris, so people go to them. And they're better players than me, so why would they come watch me? Why would anybody come watch me, So Stellaris, out of here. Alright, Battle of Westnoth. I'd like to get more of this going on in here. More turn-based games. Again, diversification. Maybe get some RPGs going. Like, this is not none of this is history stuff, but, maybe do some Pillars of Eternity, or do Battletech or something. Well, maybe see if people are into that. Also some mods. In terms of mods, I've done some fantasy stuff before. I've done A Song of Ice and Fire. I've been doing Equestria at War, but I'd really like to get Lord of the Rings in here because that's my favorite fantasy series. And then the A Song of Ice and Fire mod for Crusader Kings 2 is pretty fun. Even though I haven't played it in a while, but like I like to play as basically book houses. Like for example, House of Valeron. I would love to do a House of Valeron run. Although I need to pick up the Fire and Blood book, which I saw was pretty cheap on Amazon. Like I've already abandoned that the book series is going to be finished, so I actually really like when he puts out these lore things because it's just, hey, this is something that is going to be good for the video game I play. Since I know you're not going to finish, Martin. Anyway, so that's just a broad overview of my plans for 2019. Let me know in the comments which one of these ideas is most intriguing to you. Tell me what sort of stuff you were enjoying in 2018 and what you look forward to in 2019. I'll see you around. I'm Conquering History Games. Have yourself a nice year. Bye.